Hi everyone, it's Michelle from Country Morning Creations, and I have a rather quick flip through of my latest journal. I'm calling this one Home. It is a naked journal. So let me explain what a naked journal is before I get any further. A naked journal simply means it does not have any ephemera with it. So this is just a plain journal. It's got a couple of pockets in it, and it's got the papers that you would normally see in a journal, but I didn't put anything in this because I made this actually for my husband. We started working at a Boy Scout camp about 6 years ago now, and I wanted something that he could use to record our time here. I wanted him to start keeping a record of it, so I wanted to make him this journal. It is made in the Victorian ladies in the journal ledger style from Nick the Booksmith. It is covered in this fabulous, I coffee dyed this ticking stripe. I love this fabric. On the cover, I have layered a photograph. Well, this is actually a printout from a Montgomery Ward catalog, and this is actually our house. This is what it looks like. It was built in the 1920s. Most people are familiar with the Sears kit homes. This one was actually a Montgomery Ward kit home. And I layered it on a piece of Tim Holtz, and I put some buttons on it as well. There is no sewing in this. My husband actually does not like the sewing in my books, or at least having the tails hanging out. So I tried to keep this very clean for him. The other thing is I put on here, it says Field Notes, and our last name is Field, so I liked that. And then the other thing, this is a dictionary definition cut out from my 1930s dictionary and secretary's book that I have, and that's just been put on a piece of muslin on top. So let's get inside of it. This is just some Tim Holtz paper, and mostly what I have in here are just coffee dyed papers that I have curated for this particular book. I did create this title page for him, and it says The Peaceful Valley Years, and it has his name at the bottom. So that is hopefully how he's going to record in this. There's ledger paper. This is from Romeo and Juliet. This is actually a Nick the Booksmith. I did some stenciling, and these are all from the paper studio. I have several of their just regular paper. This isn't cardstock, it's just paper. And I kind of mix things together, so unlike a lot of my books that I do where I wrap the paper around each of the signatures, I have not done that in this book. So you'll just see the printed paper throughout it with stenciling and some other things. But I kept this very plain. This is a pocket, so he can store some things. We frequently get patches, so I thought he would like to do that. I printed a copy of Home on the Range for him. The measuring tape makes sense because a lot of what he does around the camp is maintenance, and he does a lot of carpentry. And of course I have my tissue paper in here, my tracing paper, so I've got something crinkly. Another pocket right here. And I reused the papers, so when I cut the papers down to fit in this book, they're 12 by 12, I made them so that they would fit better in the book. And the other thing is I did the 5-hole pamphlet stitch. I have gone back to using, or actually I started using it about a month ago. I feel like it is much more secure than any of the other stitches I've used, so I really like it. And the really cool thing is what I used in this book, here's some more stenciling again, is that it was actually my grandmother's. I found an entire skein of this yarn that I'm using. And I just got this new fabric. Isn't that fabulous? I got it all on sale on from Hobby Lobby, and it matches the color of my coffee stained papers, so it kind of just fades away. It doesn't really stand out. Another one of the printed pages and some regular paper. This is from, again, that 1930s secretary's book. So it talks about punctuation. My husband also is an English major. That's what his degree. This is the center of the center signature. And I love how this looks with all the stenciling. And I love the sound coffee dyed paper makes, don't you? Oh my goodness, I love that sound. And then this is actually from a book about American wildflowers that I have. I love that book. And I wanted to include a couple of things, but mostly I really kept this really simple. And this was a bag that I'm not even sure where it came from. Somebody gave it to me, or I received something in it. So that is where that came from. So lots of blank pages. That was what I wanted. Lots and lots of room for him to write. Here's another pocket and that page again. So this is kind of a different way to do a book where there's not, the signatures don't stand out separately. This is just an index card, an oversized index card. And then this is a ledger paper from Nick the Booksmith again. And then the center of this signature. So this yarn is what I'm talking about. This is actually a crochet yarn. My grandmother crocheted a couple of tablecloths out of it, which is way cool. She was sewing these, and she would make these and sew them together and stitch them together. So now I've got to figure out what to do with all those fabulous things. And then another pocket. So I put about one pocket per signature in this book. And this is the back, and this is an actual copy from that Montgomery Ward catalog. And it talks about, this is our floor plan. We do have the upstairs attic, and this is all the wording about it. And then I finished it with this. It does not have any closure. I wanted to keep it very simple. I did not add any pockets to the front or to the back. Again, just trying to keep this really simple. I really, really wanted him to just have something he could write in. And he could, there's a few pockets in there where he could actually stick a few things to as we accumulate things over the years. So I've already given it to him. He was very surprised. He didn't know I was making this for him. And he loves it. And I am hoping to get him to write in it now. So that is my flip through of home, a naked journal. And I hope I have encouraged you to be creative today. Bye.